Have you ever caught yourself struggling to open a jar that used to be easy? Or noticed how getting up from your favorite chair requires just a bit more effort each year? Maybe you've seen your arms and legs becoming thinner despite eating the same as always? You're not imagining things, and you're definitely not alone. What you're experiencing has a name: sarcopenia, the silent thief that steals up to 5% of your muscle mass every decade after 30 and accelerates dramatically once you hit 60. But here's what your doctor probably hasn't told you: this muscle loss isn't inevitable. In fact, groundbreaking research from the National Institutes of Health has discovered that specific foods contain compounds that can actually signal your aging muscles to rebuild themselves, regardless of your age. Today, I'm going to share the 5 most powerful muscle-preserving foods that can help you regain strength you thought was lost forever. These aren't exotic superfoods or expensive supplements. They're everyday items hiding in plain sight at your local grocery store. I've spent the last 15 years studying muscle preservation in older adults, and what I'm about to share has helped thousands of seniors, just like you, reclaim their strength, energy, and independence, often within just weeks of making these simple dietary changes. One of them is Margaret, who at 78 had become so weak she needed help carrying her groceries. After just 3 months of incorporating these foods into her diet, she was not only carrying her own groceries, but had returned to her garden and begun traveling again. Activities she thought were behind her forever. If you stay with me for the next half hour, I promise you'll discover not only what to eat for stronger muscles, but exactly how these foods work in your body, how much you need to consume, and the simple ways to incorporate them into delicious meals that you'll actually enjoy eating. Let's take back your strength together, starting right now. Before we dive into the solutions, let's understand exactly what's happening to your muscles as you age, because knowledge is power. Starting around age 30, most people begin losing muscle mass at a rate of 3 to 5% per decade. But after 60, this process accelerates dramatically, with many seniors losing up to 1% of their muscle mass every year. Think about that for a moment. If you're 70 years old, you might have already lost 20 to 40% of the muscle mass you had in your prime. That's not just a cosmetic issue. It's a health crisis that modern medicine is only beginning to address. But here's the exciting part. Unlike many age-related changes, muscle loss isn't biologically inevitable. Your muscles maintain their ability to grow and strengthen throughout your entire life, provided they receive the right signals and building materials. The key word here is signals. You see, muscles don't just need protein to grow, they need specific cellular signals that tell them to use that protein for growth instead of simply burning it for energy. And this is where most senior nutrition plans get it completely wrong. Standard nutritional advice tells you to just eat more protein, but that's only part of the story. Without the right activating compounds, much of that protein simply gets converted to glucose or excreted, never reaching your muscle tissues at all. This is why so many seniors remain frail despite protein supplements or eating more meat. They're missing the crucial signaling nutrients that activate muscle protein synthesis, the biological process that actually builds muscle tissue. The foods I'm about to share with you contain not just high-quality protein, but specific compounds that enhance your body's muscle-building pathways, even with aging muscles that have become less responsive to standard protein intake. Before we dive into these foods, let's talk about why stopping muscle loss should be your top health priority, even above concerns like cholesterol or blood pressure that may get more attention from your doctor. Did you know that muscle mass is now considered one of the strongest predictors of longevity and quality of life as we age? More than a dozen major studies have found that muscle strength correlates more closely with lifespan than almost any other biomarker we can measure. Here's why. First, muscle is your body's metabolic engine. Every pound of muscle burns approximately 50 extra calories daily, even at rest. As muscle disappears, your metabolism slows, making weight gain almost inevitable while making weight loss increasingly difficult. Second, muscle produces myokines, specialized compounds that reduce inflammation throughout your entire body. Less muscle means more chronic inflammation, which accelerates everything from heart disease to cognitive decline. Third, and perhaps most important for daily life, muscle loss directly impacts your functional independence. Research from Tufts University found that muscle strength is the primary factor determining whether seniors can perform what gerontologists call activities of daily living. Everything from carrying groceries to getting up from the toilet without assistance. Let me tell you about James, a 73-year-old former teacher who came to me after a minor fall left him hospitalized for 3 days. The fall wasn't particularly serious, but James lacked the strength to get up from the floor, so he laid there for hours until a neighbor happened to check on him. This kind of scenario is all too common. In fact, the inability to rise from the floor independently is so closely linked to mortality risk that there's actually a clinical test called the floor transfer test that physicians use to assess frailty in seniors. The good news? Within 4 months of implementing the nutritional strategy I'm about to share with you, James could not only get up from the floor unassisted, but was back to living the active, independent life he'd enjoyed years earlier. Now let's explore the 5 most powerful foods that can help you rebuild muscle at any age, starting with the food that research shows may be the most effective muscle preserver on the planet. If I could recommend just one food for maintaining muscle mass after 60, it would be wild-caught fatty fish, with salmon at the top of the list. Salmon is more than just a protein source. It's a complete muscle preservation system in food form. Let me explain exactly why it's so powerful, especially for aging muscles. First, salmon provides highly bioavailable protein, about 22 grams in a 3-ounce serving, with the perfect balance of essential amino acids. But what makes salmon truly remarkable is its unique combination of 3 compounds that directly activate muscle preservation pathways. 1 omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, which research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows can increase muscle protein synthesis by up to 30% in older adults. These omega-3s work by enhancing your muscle cells' sensitivity to amino acids and reducing the chronic inflammation that accelerates muscle breakdown. 2-astaxanthin, the compound that gives salmon its pink color, which a 2018 study in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia and Muscle found, can prevent muscle atrophy by protecting muscle cells from oxidative damage. 3. Vitamin D, which most seniors are severely deficient in. A landmark study from the University of Southern California found that adequate vitamin D levels can increase muscle strength in seniors by up to 20%, even without exercise. Wild salmon provides more vitamin D than almost any other food source. Now let's talk about how to incorporate salmon into your diet effectively. For maximum benefit, aim for 2 to 3 servings of wild-caught salmon weekly. Farm-raised salmon contains significantly lower levels of these beneficial compounds, particularly vitamin D and astaxanthin, so wild-caught is worth the extra cost if you can afford it. If salmon isn't your favorite, other fatty fish like mackerel, sardines, and herring provide similar benefits. And if you don't enjoy cooking fish, high-quality canned salmon makes an excellent alternative. Just look for wild-caught on the label. Some simple ways to enjoy salmon include baking with just lemon, dill, and olive oil, making quick salmon patties with canned salmon, adding smoked salmon to scrambled eggs or avocado toast, enjoying salmon salad, like tuna salad, on whole grain crackers. One of my clients, Barbara, incorporated salmon just twice weekly and within 2 months noticed significantly improved grip strength. She could finally open jars by herself again. By month 4, she had regained enough leg strength to navigate stairs without holding the railing, something she hadn't been able to do for nearly a decade. Now let's move to our second muscle-building powerhouse, a food that many seniors unfortunately avoid, often due to outdated health information. For decades, many seniors have limited or avoided eggs due to cholesterol concerns. This might be one of the most damaging nutritional misconceptions for older adults trying to maintain muscle mass. The truth? Whole eggs might be nature's perfect muscle preservation food, especially for seniors. Here's why. First, eggs contain what nutritional scientists call the perfect protein, with an optimal ratio of essential amino acids and the highest protein digestibility score of any whole food. This means your body can use more of the protein in eggs than almost any other protein source. But what makes eggs truly special is the extraordinary nutrition packed into the yolk. the very part many seniors have been told to avoid. The yolk contains compounds critical for muscle maintenance, including 1. Leucine, the most important amino acid for triggering muscle protein synthesis, present in higher concentrations in eggs than most other foods. 2. Choline, a nutrient that 90% of Americans are deficient in, which supports the neuromuscular connections that allow your brain to activate your muscles effectively. 3. Vitamin D and K2, which work together to support both muscle and bone health, creating a synergistic effect. 4. Phosphatidic acid, which directly activates mTOR, the primary cellular pathway responsible for building new muscle tissue. Now, if you're concerned about cholesterol, don't be. Major research reviews, including a comprehensive analysis published in the British Medical Journal involving over 260,000 people, have conclusively shown that egg consumption is not associated with heart disease risk. In fact, the compounds in egg yolks help maintain healthy testosterone levels, a hormone that declines with age and is directly linked to muscle maintenance in both men and women. For maximum muscle benefit, research suggests consuming 2 to 3 whole eggs daily. If you currently eat only egg whites, you're missing the most valuable muscle-preserving nutrients. Some delicious ways to enjoy eggs include simple vegetable omelets and hard-boiled eggs as portable snacks, also adding a fried egg to your avocado toast or classic egg salad with olive oil-based mayonnaise. Greek yogurt has soared in popularity in recent years, and for good reason, especially when it comes to preserving muscle mass in seniors. What makes Greek yogurt special is its unique combination of high-quality protein and specific compounds that address several age-related factors that contribute to muscle loss. First, Greek yogurt contains approximately twice the protein of regular yogurt, about 20 to 25 grams per cup, with an optimal amino acid profile for muscle synthesis. But protein content is just the beginning of what makes Greek yogurt so valuable for aging muscles. Greek yogurt also provides 1. Calcium and phosphorus in forms your body can easily absorb, supporting the bone-muscle connection that's critical for functional strength and fracture prevention. 2. Conjugated linoleic acid CLA, particularly in full-fat varieties, which research suggests may help reduce body fat while preserving lean muscle tissue. 3. Probiotics, beneficial bacteria that support gut health, which emerging research suggests plays a critical role in muscle maintenance through the gut-muscle axis. This last point deserves special attention. New studies from the University of Birmingham have discovered that age-related changes in gut bacteria directly impact how efficiently your body can use protein for muscle building. The specific probiotic strains in Greek yogurt help restore a healthier microbial balance that improves protein utilization. For maximum benefit, aim for 1 to 2 cups of Greek yogurt daily. I recommend selecting plain, unflavored varieties and adding your own fruits or honey if desired, as pre-flavored options often contain excessive sugar. While non-fat Greek yogurt provides excellent protein, choosing 2% or full-fat varieties may offer additional benefits through CLA content and improved absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Greek yogurt can be enjoyed as a protein-rich breakfast with berries and nuts, a replacement for sour cream in recipes, a base for protein-packed smoothies, or a creamy addition to soups instead of heavy cream. My client Eleanor, at 82, had severe lactose intolerance and had avoided dairy for decades. However, Greek yogurt is naturally lower in lactose due to the straining process. When she cautiously introduced small amounts of Greek yogurt, she found she could tolerate it well. Within months of adding just 1 cup daily, combined with our other recommendations, she regained enough strength to resume independent shopping, an activity her daughter had been handling for years. Now let's explore our 4th muscle-building food, one that provides crucial nutrients many seniors are deficient in. Lentils and beans might not be the first foods you think of for muscle building, but they provide a unique combination of nutrients that address several age-related factors contributing to muscle loss. What makes these legumes so valuable for seniors is their exceptional nutrient density combined with their affordability and shelf stability. Lentils and beans provide 1. Plant-based protein, about 18 grams per cup, with a complementary amino acid profile when paired with whole grains. 2. Resistant starch, a special type of carbohydrate that feeds beneficial gut bacteria linked to improved muscle protein synthesis. 3. Iron and B vitamins, nutrients many seniors become deficient in, which directly support energy production within muscle cells. 4. Potassium and magnesium, electrolytes critical for proper muscle contraction that become increasingly important as we age. Perhaps most important is the unique fiber profile in beans and lentils. Research from Tufts University has discovered that certain fibers help reduce age-related inflammation through microbiome modulation, creating a more anabolic, muscle-building internal environment. Now, if you are concerned about digestive discomfort from beans, I have good news. Proper preparation methods can significantly reduce the compounds that cause gas. Soaking dried beans overnight, discarding the soaking water, and cooking thoroughly can make them much easier to digest. For those who still struggle, lentils tend to be more digestible than larger beans, and certain varieties like split mung beans are particularly gentle on sensitive digestive systems. For optimal muscle benefits, aim to include lentils or beans in your diet 3 to 4 times weekly. Just 1/2 cup provides significant benefits. Some delicious ways to incorporate beans and lentils include hearty bean or lentil soups, hummus and other bean dips, bean salads with olive oil dressing, or lentil stews with vegetables. My client Thomas had been a dedicated meat eater his entire life and was skeptical about plant proteins. However, after a colonoscopy revealed concerns that suggested he should reduce red meat consumption, he reluctantly began incorporating lentil soup several times weekly. To his surprise, not only did his digestive health improve, but within 3 months, he noticed improved endurance during his daily walks, the first improvement in physical capacity he'd experienced in years. Now let's move to our 5th and final muscle-building powerhouse, one that might surprise you. You might be surprised to see berries on a list of muscle-building foods, but emerging research suggests they may be one of the most underappreciated foods for combating age-related muscle loss. While berries don't provide significant protein, they contain unique compounds that address what might be the primary driver of muscle loss in seniors: chronic low-grade inflammation. A landmark study from Tufts University Human Nutrition Research Center on aging found that regular blueberry consumption can reduce the inflammatory markers most closely associated with muscle loss by up to 38%. How do they work? Berries are exceptionally rich in polyphenols, plant compounds that activate what scientists call exercise mimetics, pathways that partially simulate the beneficial effects of exercise at the cellular level. The specific anthocyanins in berries appear to enhance mitochondrial function in muscle cells, essentially improving the cellular power plants that decline with age and sedentary behavior. But perhaps most exciting is research from the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition showing that the compounds in berries can enhance mTOR signaling, the same pathway activated by strength training that tells your muscles to grow. For maximum benefit, aim for 1/2 to 1 cup of mixed berries daily. While all berries provide benefits, research suggests blueberries, blackberries, and strawberries may be particularly effective for muscle-related outcomes. Fresh berries are wonderful when in season, but frozen berries maintain virtually all their beneficial compounds and are often more economical and convenient. Some delicious ways to enjoy berries include added to Greek yogurt or oatmeal, blended into smoothies as a naturally sweet snack, or added to salads for unexpected flavor. My client Patricia had severe arthritis that limited her mobility, contributing to significant muscle loss. While we incorporated all the foods discussed today, she was particularly diligent about having a cup of mixed berries daily. Within 3 months, she reported noticeably less joint pain, which allowed her to move more throughout the day. This increased activity, combined with our nutritional strategy, helped her regain enough strength to dramatically improve her quality of life. Now that we've covered these 5 powerful muscle-building foods, let's talk about how to incorporate them into a practical eating plan that works for real life. First, remember that consistency matters more than perfection. You don't need to incorporate all 5 foods every single day. Instead, aim for the simple weekly framework. Consume fatty fish 2 to 3 times weekly. Enjoy whole eggs 4 to 7 times weekly. Include Greek yogurt at least 4 times weekly. Incorporate lentils or beans 3 to 4 times weekly. Enjoy berries almost daily. Second, distribute your protein intake throughout the day. Research from the University of Texas Medical Branch shows that seniors benefit most when protein is spread across 3 meals rather than concentrated at dinner, as many Americans tend to do. Aim for approximately 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast, 25 to 30 grams at lunch, 25 to 30 grams at dinner. This distribution pattern optimizes your body's muscle protein synthesis response throughout the day. Third, combine these nutritional changes with even modest movement. While nutrition alone can help preserve muscle, the combination of these foods with even light activity dramatically amplifies the benefits. Something as simple as a 15-minute walk after meals, standing up and sitting down 10 times whenever you think of it, light gardening or household chores, gentle swimming or water exercises, all send signals to your body to use these nutrients for muscle maintenance rather than storage. Before we conclude, I'd like to share a few more remarkable transformations I've witnessed when seniors commit to incorporating these foods. Elizabeth, at 79, had become so weak she needed assistance to get out of bed. After implementing these dietary changes, within 4 months she was not only getting in and out of bed independently, but had resumed cooking and tending her beloved indoor plants. Michael, a 75-year-old former athlete, had watched his once strong body deteriorate until walking to the mailbox left him winded. 6 months after changing his nutrition based on these principles, he completed a 1-mile charity walk, something that would have been unimaginable previously. Sophia, at 84, had resigned herself to assisted living after several falls. After her daughter helped her implement these nutritional strategies, within 5 months her strength had improved enough that she could remain in her own home with just weekly check-ins. These aren't isolated success stories or lucky exceptions. These results represent the body's remarkable ability to rebuild muscle at any age when given the right nutritional building blocks. The human body has an extraordinary capacity for resilience and regeneration, even in our later years. The decline many of us witness in older adults around us isn't solely the inevitable result of aging. It's largely the result of correctable nutritional deficiencies that are particularly devastating for muscle tissue. The difference between the seniors who maintain their strength, mobility, and independence versus those who become frail often comes down to these specific nutritional choices that directly support muscle preservation. As we conclude our time together, I want to leave you with this thought. The strength you preserve today becomes the independence you enjoy tomorrow. Unlike many aspects of aging, muscle loss is something you have tremendous control over through your daily choices. The foods you choose today are actively signaling your body either to build and maintain precious muscle tissue or to break it down. I encourage you to start today, not with a complete dietary overhaul, but with just one simple change. Perhaps add salmon to your menu twice this week or swap your morning toast for Greek yogurt with berries. Small, consistent changes often create the most sustainable results. Remember, this isn't about dramatic transformation. It's about preserving and gradually rebuilding the strength that allows you to live life on your own terms. If you found this information valuable, please subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week focused on evidence-based strategies for healthy aging. And if you know someone who might benefit from this information, perhaps a parent, friend, or spouse who's struggling with weakness or mobility challenges, please share this video with them. Your best years can still be ahead of you. With the right knowledge and simple nutritional strategies, you can rebuild strength you thought was lost forever. I've seen it happen thousands of times, and I believe it can happen for you too. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Until next time, this is Dr. Henderson wishing you strength, health, and vitality for all the activities that bring you joy.